Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Barack Obama has recently touted Donald Trump's claims that the elections are going to be rigged as a conspiracy theory. He has also gone as far as to say he doesn't even know what that means. Rigged elections. What does that even mean?
It is, I don't even really know where to start on answering this question. Of course the elections will not be rigged. What does that mean?
Now, two things that I took away from President Obama's response. First, he says, the election process is run on the state and local level, not by the federal government. I'm sorry, did anybody ask you about the federal government? Did anybody say the federal government was rigging it? Obama basically just indicted the federal government as an untrustworthy government enterprise. Right there. Unbelievable that he would say that when it wasn't even brought up. So he brings up the fact that the federal government doesn't run the elections as a case to say that the elections are going to be run clean. So again, Obama indicting an untrustworthy federal government. He then said, if Mr. Trump is up 10 or 15 points on election day and ends up losing, then maybe he can raise some questions, but that doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. Well, now hold on. It was just a couple weeks ago where Trump was dominating the polls, and all of a sudden, 10 or 15 points behind. So Obama, a little double think, a little double speak there. And this goes without even mentioning the fact that Donald Trump has thousands and thousands of people attending his rallies, and Hillary Clinton is lucky if she can even fill a room. In fact, I would say Donald Trump has to turn more people down from getting into his rallies than Hillary Clinton even gets into her rallies. And if that doesn't illustrate how these polls are rigged, if that doesn't illustrate how the establishment wants to rig this election, I don't know what does. So there's a couple points on President Obama's doublespeak and that reaction. But let's get into some of the evidence that we have of rigged elections. And it's so much that it's unbelievable that our own president would sit here and say he doesn't even know what that means. Are you kidding me, Obama? You don't know what that means? Well, let's tell you what it means. Let's start with a WorldNet Daily exclusive where they highlight that in some inner city precincts, Obama garnered between 98 and 100% of the vote. As Rush Limbaugh said, third world dictators don't even get 99% of the vote. And of course, it was Lenin that said, the voters don't decide the elections, the people that count the votes decide the elections. But Obama said that's not the federal government, so I guess we can trust it, right? It's also worth mentioning that there were more than 100 Cleveland inner city precincts where Obama got 100% of the vote. So, if that isn't evidence of a rigged election, I don't know what is. But again, it's not the federal government tallying it, so I guess it's trustworthy. Absentee ballots are particularly vulnerable to voter fraud. In upstate Troy, New York, 8 local Democrat politicians were indicted, and 4 have pleaded guilty to falsifying absentee ballots. 8 local Democrat politicians have been indicted for falsifying absentee ballots. But Barack Obama doesn't know what a rigged election is. Bob Murch, the former Republican legislator who first discovered this fraud, said, "It's an insider game. It takes insiders to do it, and I think it takes insiders to catch those who try to steal the election. It's easy to do it, and yes, it's easy not to get caught." Frank LaPasta, a former Troy, New York City Council president, said he got run out of the Democratic Party for speaking out against voter fraud. And we're going to have a lot more evidence that ties the Democratic Party to this voter fraud, the party of our own president, Barack Obama. 75 GOP vote inspectors were ordered to leave Philadelphia poll locations by Democratic poll judges. Again, the Democrats trying to rig elections. Maryland Representative Elijah Cummings issued a highly publicized threat against the True Vote and Election Integrity Maryland just for checking voter rolls. EIM found 11,000 questionable registrations, including over 1,500 dead voters. The Maryland Board of Elections took no action. Of course, Elijah Cummings is a Democrat. And despite overwhelming nonpartisan support for voter ID laws, Attorney General Eric Holder's Justice Department and liberal jurists have delayed, emasculated, or defeated ID laws in Texas, Wisconsin, Carolina, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. Holder has vowed to fight voter ID laws as they restrict voters' rights. And we've got actually more on that, where they claim that it's racist. Don't you love that talking point from the left? If they don't like where you're steering the conversation, they call you a racist. Now, there's so much more into this, and one of the big issues comes from President Bill Clinton with the National Voter Registration Act, also known as the motor voter. Illinois Governor Jim Edgar, a Republican who refused to enforce the new law because he feared it would open the door to widespread voter fraud. Obama, working with the Clinton Justice Department while he was with ACORN, you'll hear a lot from them in this segment, Project Vote, and the League of Women Voters sued Illinois. So again, we have Democrats connected to voter fraud, and we have Obama himself, who was tied into ACORN, who has been tied into more voter fraud, perhaps than any other alphabet bureaucracy that we have in America. But Obama says he doesn't know about rigged elections. Oh, I don't know about rigged elections. I just worked with ACORN. There's more from that WorldNet Daily exclusive. I encourage you to look into it. Even CNN, folks, even CNN reports more than 2,000 voter registration forms filed in northern Indiana's Lake County by a liberal activist group this week have been turned out to be bogus. Again, liberals, Democrats, voter fraud. And this is CNN reporting this. The group, the Association of Community Organizations for Reform, ACORN, already faces allegation of filing fraudulent voter registrations in Nevada and faces investigations in many other states. Obama doesn't know anything about this, though. Our own president. This is a report from Breitbart. Hundreds of dead voters found voting in California. An investigation by CBS News Los Angeles-based affiliate has determined that hundreds of dead people are still voting in California. CBS 2 compared millions of voting records from the California Secretary with death records from Social Security Administration and found that there were dead people voting. Unbelievable. The Obama administration has consistently argued that new laws to improve ballot security and voter transparency, like voter ID, are racist efforts to exclude minorities and unnecessary because voter fraud rarely happens. Folks, I'm about to document. Look at this. I have a book sitting in front of me of cases of voter fraud, okay? Barack Obama says that he doesn't know about rigged elections. What's that? He works for ACORN. ACORN has been caught red-handed. He tells you he doesn't want voter ID laws because it's racist. Excuse me. This is a little insane. This is from Washington Free Beacon. A Clinton campaign lawyer has been linked to dead people voting, folks. His name is Mark Elias, and he has been investigated for voter fraud, and he has been fighting voter ID laws for his whole career. Now, I've got a book of documented voter fraud in the United States. This is a 3-part report put out by discoverthenetworks.org. Hundreds of cases of voter fraud documented in the U.S., linked to ACORN, linked to the Democrats, but Obama claims he has no idea.
This is the answer for your children to totally absorb the multivitamins, the minerals, the amino acids, everything at once. Unveiled Vitamin Mineral Fusion Advanced Multivitamin Formula, 30 servings, fruit punch flavored dietary supplement. It is simply amazing. InfoWarsLife.com.
There's a million different products like this out there that they're good in different ways. But this takes all of the vitamins, all of the essential amino acids, all of the essential compounds and minerals that you need, puts it into something that's great tasting as opposed to like clumpy, gross stuff. And you can put it in your drink every morning. I put it in my protein shake. It is the platinum standard, in my view, of multivitamins in terms of an advanced multi-drink vitamin.
The cleanest, the purest, new stuff had to be invented. That's why it took this long to even bring us something this good.
Some companies are going to take a small amount of vitamins and make it, so there's so much filler, it looks like there's a lot. This is ultra concentrated. We're not playing games here. Okay,
well, that's my philosophy. That's your philosophy.
Yeah,
I want it, but again, there's some great stuff out there.
Yeah,
and there's other,
No, of course, definitely.
There's other powders I promote at InfoWarsHealth.com. Yeah, they're excellent. I mean, there's some good stuff out there. This is just the very best we can bring you, and when you buy it, you support InfoWars, you support the reporters, you support yourself. Tell folks about some of these other things that are in this and why this is just this total, complete package for your body. Because, again, we didn't put the synthetic amino acids. We didn't put the synthetic vitamins. We put the plant-based, high-quality, clean, natural ingredients into this.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got your standard vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E, the list goes on.
A huge amount of vitamin C, by the way. Tell folks about that.
1,000+% of your daily value, which is what you need. Because the, FDA guidelines, we all know about those. Zinc, magnesium, selenium, L-glutamine. Each one of these, you could go on for about 10 minutes about the benefits of these things. Alpha-lipoic acid, folic acid, calcium, and the list goes on. 34 other ones you can check out. Go to InfoWarsLife.com. The label's up there. You've got the entire ingredients list that you can neurotically examine for yourself. And just... By
the way, look on the other side, too, because we're showing people the... minerals and things. Let's look at the vitamins right there, all it's got in there. I mean, it's amazing.
Top left.
Again, if you're radio listeners, Infowars.com/show. Vitamin A has 4,333% from beta carotene and what's that other source? I just know that's all the best sources.
Retinol. So you've also got your vitamin D at 1,000 IU, which is a large dose, actually. And you know what? Some people could say, well, isn't this competing with your other products? Well, yeah, you know what? We could be like some people and just take all the stuff that we sell also at InfoWarsLife.com and not put any of it, but then it wouldn't be a balanced formula, and we're not going to do that. And it might actually hurt us in the long run to put all the best stuff in here, but that's just the way we got to do it, because we can't start thinking like that.
So get them today, InfoWarsLife.com, or call toll-free 888-253-3139.